Hey everybody. Hey, Mike Amato here, and I'm driving into to an appointment, but I thought I'd talk to you while I'm driving. I'm doing it safely, hands-free, as you can see. Hey, the reason I'm going to talk to you is because I've had some feedback on my last video regarding discovering your personal power. And I just thought I'd explain that just a little bit more, because one of the conversations I had was referenced to an incident that happened to me way in the past, and it's sort of where I became aware of this notion of giving away the best parts of you. And what happened was I had a colleague who was a friend of mine, but times were pretty stressful at work at this particular time, and we had a situation that was really kind of pitted an outcome that he wanted versus an outcome that that I wanted, and as it turned out, it was the way that I wanted it, and he got very upset. And as he he really came in my office and just let me have it. Just seriously let me have it. And it was so uncharacteristic, because he's a friend of mine, and it seemed to be a minor thing. So I just looked at him in shock, and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I'm sorry, I got a lot of things going on at home," and he did have some pretty serious things. But but what happened was, what I told him was, whatever point you're trying to make, you totally lost it. And he felt so apologetic. And at that point, he said, "Oh no, whatever you want to do is just fine." And I said, "No, the idea is that we should be collaborating, figuring out the right way to have something work out in a way that's mutually beneficial for the organization and for the customer, obviously." And his comments was, he kind of just gave in. And I said, "You've just given up all of your personal power." And so, but for this specific person, what that meant was that with his personal power, one of the things he had as his greatest strength was the ability to be calm and to be very reasoned, even when things were becoming a little bit emotional. Second thing he had was, he's very logical and able to explain a trail of logic that brought anybody along from point A to point B to point C in ways that made total sense. So, and besides that, the third thing it was just a super nice guy, like one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with. So the whole idea about giving up his personal power came from the fact that he did nothing about his top three strengths came out in that conversation. And in sort of a surrender, he waved the white flag and said, "Gee, just do it your way." Well, as it turns out, he had some suggestions that the outcome could have actually been improved once we started talking again, and he rediscovered his grounding, if you will. So when I mentioned in the last video about not giving up your personal power, what I suggested just yesterday on a phone conversation to someone was, look, go back, just write down right now, no matter how frustrated you are, no matter how concerned you are about this business outcome, I guarantee in 4 or 5 months, you will not remember this moment. But right now, it's the biggest thing ever going on. So just stop, put it aside, and write down the 3 best things. What are the 3 greatest strengths that you have? What are the 3 things that other people say that they love about you? Because a lot of times we can't see them in ourselves, but other people tell us. So as I write those 3 things, I'll just do it right now. And she did. She wrote down the 3 things. And you know what it did was totally take her energy from higher voice, shoulders up 4 inches, energy all about a little bit of franticness and hectic in her conversation. Well, it turned everything down into grounding and into slowing down and realizing one of the greatest things actually she had is one of her major sources of power is an ability to use a sense of humor to relax others and bring people to your point of view. So anyways, by writing down her 3 points of power, it totally changed the energy, and she went back to the situation, sent me an email this morning, got it, and saying that, wow, totally different outcome, changed the total energy around the group, and she's really happy. So such a simple suggestion, and I know that all of you would certainly know this, but again, that's what a mentor can do at the right moment in time. Just say to bring up something that can be just a little bit different than what you're thinking, and the flow of your energy and the flow of your conversation, and change that and make it back into your personal power and have a totally different outcome. So anyways, I thought I'd explain that a little bit more, because personal power is obviously so important, and for heaven's sakes, we can't give it away. And guess when we give it away? At the time when we least can afford to give it away, right? So makes sense. So there you go. That's it from me. Hey, take a look at subscribe to my channel. Got a website coming soon, which I hope you'll be able to see and like. And I'm going to hang up now before I have to park my car. Thanks, everybody. Have a good Friday.